People come and say, I want to be financially free, I want to retire early. Now, this is good to hear. It's a music or it's a nice words to hear. But if you don't have a plan in place, it's just a wish, right? Right now, it is 2020 year. If you are in 20s and 30s, and if you fast forward your life by 40 years in 2060, right, you need at least 1 crore a month as an average expenditure for a middle class cost of living. If you put it in that way, does it look exaggerated number? Right? If it does, let me prove you end of this video why do I say so. The first time I heard about passive income or financial freedom is from this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Robert T. Kiyosaki. Now, he kept this very simple. He said that you want to be financially free, then your passive income should increase your expenditure. Now, this logically makes sense, right? Now, whatever the asset-based income you are able to generate, if it exceeds your expenditure, which means that without putting your time, you are able to accomplish this. You became financially free, but the challenge was at one point in time, you might have accomplished this particular equation, satisfied, right? But from bachelor, as you move, get married, you have two people in your family, which means your needs, your wants, your desires keep increasing. The moment you have a family with kids, your expenditure keeps growing in terms of responsibility, your education, their basic stuff, now whatever it might be, right? As much as number of kids you have, which means that the equation which satisfied the passive income by generating an asset base might not hold good for every year on year, which means at this point in time, if you are financially free, doesn't actually mean that after 40 years you can be financially free, provided the asset-based income you choose keeps growing every year at least by 10%, right? 6% inflation and rest of the expenditure variable, hence it is being taken care of, right? So with this particular flow of thoughts, how much you require, right? So I don't know how much you require, but what I can say is at least an average 40 years later in 2060, you might be at least requiring a 1 crore a month. How do I prove that? So to talk about 40 years down the lane, let's think about, understand what was the trend 40 years before, right? Now, going by this average Indian middle class cost of living, in 1980, 40 years back, it was around 10,000 rupees a month with a family of 4. Now, in 2000, it became 10,000 rupees a month. And currently in 2020, it is 1 lakh per month, right? With a family of 4. Similar way, if you calculate, the trend shows that you at least need 1 crore per month. Does it justify what I told you at the start of this video, that you find any vehicle, you choose any vehicle to develop an asset-based income? By the time you 40 years down the lane, you need to have at least 1 crore per month as expenditure, which means currently if your job is making you rich, you may not be wealthy, because 40 years later, you may not have a job unless and until you have decided that rest of the life till you die, you will keep working for something or the other. Which means you need to have additional source of income, because most of us at this point in time in our life don't have a pension. I'm not talking about that one-time retirement pension you get. I'm talking about a monthly cash flow. Now, from this trend analysis, I proved you this logically makes sense. You hope and pray that 1 crore now doesn't look a big money, because that is what it is. That's what gonna be. Now, let me just add some color to this by adding some mathematical calculation to show how do you compute, how do you calculate, what is the figure you need to understand when you think about retirement in your mind, right? Retire investment should be anything about your annual expenditure into a factor of 25, right? Now, take an example. If you take an example that your monthly expenditure is only 50,000 rupees, fair enough. you need to have 6 lakh expenditure every annually, which means a safest instrument right now is fixed deposit in postal or bank. If you keep it right, 1.5 crore, you will be able to get 50,000 every month, which means you are financially free. If I give you 1 crore right now, what will you do? Right? It's a good proposition to tell I can be financially free. Yeah, you can be. 1.5 crore with this equation, you can be. But let's say you have family like me, you have a kid, you are living a good, decent, luxurious life. I don't call it luxury, but yeah, higher middle class. 1 lakh a month expenditure, which means you don't need just 12 lakh. 1 lakh into 12 is 12 lakh, but why am I factoring 18 lakh, which is you need to keep 3 crore in a fixed deposit? Reason, because the moment you start making money, there will be a factor of tax who will eat up your 30% of your income. So which means the higher you make money, you need to also consider multiple other factors. Which means that every time you look for an asset-based income, be mindful that it grows by 10% and look for avenues where you can develop wealth, which means without your presence also you are able to generate an income. That is how you will retire secure and safe.